Hello, welcome to Pixelgamia, welcome to Stardew Valley, and welcome to us joining in on the GamerGar community Let's Play series. Here's what we're going to change about it, which we'll get to in a second. First, for anyone who doesn't know, here's what the community challenge is: using the same random world seed. Now, when you start a new game, if you don't put anything in this random seed box, it will make a whole new number. That's a new world seed. We're using the same one as him. That's the whole point. What does that do? It doesn't randomize everything the same way as his. What it will do is mine floor layouts and monster spawns. What items come out of geodes of each type and in what order. Traveling cart stock for each day she appears. Determines what night events occur and when. Determines what items will be coming out of garbage cans. And a few other random things such as fishing bubble spots, what enchantments later in the game, if we go that far, will come out on your weapons and items and in what order. Stuff like that. It does not affect certain elements, which is why I'm going to show you what I've changed on my own. He used 1.5 / legacy randomization. I'm using 1.6. He used normal community center and mine rewards. I'm using remix of both. And he used the standard farm, and I'm going to use the Four Corners farm. So let's get started. We got our initial 15 parsnips. So the only other thing different, he's using no mods. I'm also essentially using no mods, except I am using the UI Info Suite mod, just because I've always wanted to use it anyway, and I've never really had a chance to until now, because it just never came up. I'm going to rearrange these in the order that I like them. We're going to go ahead and clear a bit of the farm, start the day. So because we are using the Four Corners farm, I'm going to do my clearing probably a bit differently than GamerGar does. Because I'm going to do a little bit of clearing in as many of the areas of my farm as possible, because it's broken into 4 sections. Each of them has a little bit of a perk. This first section is just your standard run-of-the-mill farm, which that is its perk, is that it's got a pretty big open area for farming, as you can see once we make some space. There's a section that's based on the forest farms. We should get some forest forageables, which are nice. There's a section that's based on the Riverland farm, which means the perk of that is that we will get not quite as good of fishing rates on the farm as the actual Riverland farm, but we get about a 50-50 chance of getting actual fish, which is quite good if we want to stay home and fish. And the last section, which is the main one we're worried about, we get a little quarry where we can potentially pick up some mining stuff before we can actually access the mines. Right now I'm just tidying up the farm a bit. And then once we get real low on energy, then I'm going to go ahead and move on to foraging. because foraging takes no energy. Whoops. The other thing is, if you're using either your weapon or your scythe to cut grass, it takes no energy. Whereas if you also hit multiple pieces at a time, as you can see there. It's a good way early game to help clear some of your farm without using extra energy when you don't have a lot. I'm going to cut a couple more trees down. Number one, because I want the experience for foraging. That's what I'm using the info suite mod for, so I can see how much foraging XP we're exactly at. The other reason that I want to do it is because I want to be able to more clearly see the initial farm area that I'm opening up. That's plenty of space. And I wanted enough materials to be able to make my first chest. We've now placed that, which will allow us to empty out our inventory a bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plant these parsnip seeds. There we go. And the mouse in a weird spot. But even though I'm playing with a controller, because I'm playing on PC, it was still registering the mouse in a weird way, so I had to move it to fix that. We're going to plant these. We're going to water them. We got to be careful of our energy. Plant the parsnips. It also tells you how much time your plants and stuff have left to water. Now, the next thing that I want to do I'm going to put all that stuff away. Also going to put away my watering can and not my hoe, just my watering can for now. I'm just going to focus on cutting grass now because of the fact it takes no energy. You can almost always clear a path with just your scythe if you have to. Not always, but usually. For the main paths, anyway. The main thing I want to do right now is come down this way. See some worm spots, which if I can get to them would be nice. I also see lots of copper, which is great. What I want to do right now is hunt for forageables. Because I need energy. Before I can do any of that. I could also chop these for more fiber and attempt at mixed seeds. That gave us a foraging level, which is nice. The reason that even in 1.6 I like the idea of the info suite mod is it will only it does now tell you if you level up a skill, but only once per day. And it only tells you when you get the actual level up. Which, whereas with the mod, it actually lets me see the experience I'm gaining as I gain it. So I know how close I am to a level. It's very helpful in that sense. Excellent. These are what I was really hoping for. Some green onions. Spring onions, rather. Reason being, they only give half as much XP when you pick them up. But they give 13 energy for every one that you eat. Which, when you get 4 or 5 of them at once, is enough to give you quite a bit of extra ability to do things. We got a few good forageables there. which is lovely. And now, before it gets too dark and hard to see, I'm going to go ahead and eat those spring onions and go clear out some of that other stuff that on the farm that I said I wanted to try. And that'll give me a good amount of energy to do it with. Before anything else, because they're going to disappear faster, what I want to do is get the worm spots that I see. Because, or artifact spots is what they're technically called. And we got a free artifact without even leaving the farm technically, although, I mean, we left the farm to get supplies, but we didn't have to search off the farm to get it. So, I'll tidy this up a little bit. This will probably over here be my animal area once I tidy it up and actually get animals started. There are shortcuts through them, but you need to upgrade your tools to clear those out. That's fine, though. We can still make paths to everywhere we want to go, so. We have gotten a couple more mixed seeds, which are nice. Means we probably won't have to buy as many seeds. The hope with mixed seeds in the spring, you can't get a bean starter, but you can get all three of the other main crops you might need, but also we remixed the bundles, so who knows what we even need. But in the normal bundles, you can get 3 out of the 4 bundle items for community center. So it's a good way to save on money. Now it's random which ones you get, but if you get a pretty good amount of them, you can pretty easily arrange for that to work in your favor and only need to buy the bean starter. Again, for now, I'm just chopping grass to make some kind of path through all this. And I don't care about keeping the grass that the animals eat because A, my animal area is definitely not going to be down here. Wherever I put it, it will be somewhere closer to the top. But more importantly than that, right now it's too early in the game to even really worry about that, because I'm not planning to have animals anytime soon. And I can always plant more grass, and it grows every season anyway. So what I really came down here for was these. Look at all this beautiful copper. So that means Clint will come by and give us not only is it good for mining experience, but Clint will come by and give us a recipe for furnace tomorrow. We'll have that nice and early. Plus, we can get geodes in these little things here, which you can see. I'm actually going to eat all of those because horseradishes are usually pretty easy to find more of, and it lets me pick up stuff. Plus, I need the energy anyway. Let's get those. These rocks and nodes are worth more experience than the ones on the farm, so we got level 1 mining in day 1. We got some coal, which is nice. We have already 16 copper, which is great. So now what I'm going to do is just cut more grass, primarily. Because again, I just want to clear as much stuff out with minimal energy use as possible. Because I don't really have any more items to eat, and also I don't really want to, even when I have a few, I don't want to burn through them all. Excuse me. if I don't have to. Hence why I didn't eat the other ones until I knew I needed them. So today's basically going to be a whole lot of clearing parts of the farm. The forageables in other areas, they sit from Monday until Saturday. It's on Sundays that they repeat. Or, sorry, not repeat, replenish. As long as you get them sometime during the week, you're fine. So I don't care that I didn't go everywhere today. You see, sometimes it's trickier to get around, so I am actually going to clear a few of those. Then the rest of this I'm just going to cut down. And we'll see what comes of that. Now, let's go start to clear the other top section. If we can get into it, which we can. Clear as much of this as we can. See what we end up with for stuff. That one we actually can't get around, so we have to go the long way. This is again why I like to clear all of the stuff that I can, especially with the scythe, because it uses no energy, and it usually, with not much more than 1 or 2 hits of a other tool, will get you at least a narrow path you can start to follow. One other mod I did think about using, but decided not to, was just a visual mod that makes it brighter at night for playing purposes, but I'm describing what I'm doing for you anyway, so not a huge deal. And we'll start to get glow rings and other forms of light sources and things in the next day or two of gameplay anyway. So not a big deal. It's 12:30, so we're going in the game, so we're going to get ready to head to bed here in a moment. Cutting a few more bushes. Again, just trying to tidy up as much as we can, as quick as we can. It is now 1 o'clock though, and I would like to actually make it to bed, so starting to feel exhausted, that's fine. I'm going to bed now anyway, if I can make it. Here we are. I should still make it up to bed. We're going to do this playthrough one day at a time. Once we start fishing, the videos will get longer just by the fact of how the game functions. So let's put all that away. Put that away. Those away for now. We're at the chest. Got my watering can for the morning. And then we'll sell our fiber. Sap. I should still make it to my house. I don't have to make it all the way to bed. I just have to make it to the house, but I did actually make it to bed anyway. So we got level 1 foraging. We got level 1 mining. 2 level ups in the first day is always good. We got 252 gold towards our next goal, which is a fishing rod upgrade as soon as possible, because starting tomorrow, we're going to be able to fish. So, we will pick up there for day 2, where we will go get the fishing rod, and it will be mostly a fishing day, to be honest. Until then, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like and subscribe, comment, you know the drill. Join the Discord server in the link in the description. Peace out.